Okay guys, let's talk about the RS245. So far I have done about 2220 kilometers and it's been a pretty interesting experience with this car. Engine is still not broken in. It's going to take a few more kilometers for it to break in. Roughly give or take 4,000, 5,000 kilometers is when the engine breaks in, and 6,000 is more or less where the mark where I want to go in for a first service. Means change the oil out, put new oil in, change the oil filter out, put new oil filter in, inspect the air filter and see how that air filter behaves, how dirty it is. Depending on how dirty it is, change it out or you clean and reuse. Change the AC filter out, if again same thing, if it's dirty change it out, if not just reuse it, because the AC filter and the air filter are more or less designed for a 14,000 kilometer interval change. Although your oil will never last that long, at least in a Volkswagen turbo car, based on my experience, the AC filter and the air filter do last that long, unless you live in a very dirty environment, like some construction going on in your house or near your office commute roads and all. That's when you change it out as soon as and when it gets dirty. So first service 6,000 kilometers, oil change, oil filter change, inspect the oil to see how black it is and how much it's worn down, and then hopefully we'll go and do some mods on this in terms of power, particularly remaps. The 18-inch rims were a concern for me, but I somehow feel that this car does a good job of managing the suspension and the rims together. So the suspension is stiff enough not to be wavy or just, cause a lot of body roll on corners, whereas it's also soft enough so that the ride doesn't become unlivable. So it's not very stiff nor is it very soft, it's somewhere in between. It's a nice mix. I mean, there are obviously better shock absorbers out there that you can buy that'll smoothen the ride out even more, but we paid for the shock absorbers and it doesn't make any sense changing these out at 2200 kilometers or anything less than 10,000 kilometers, because that's the right time to do it. So as far as living with the car goes, yes, it's pretty much fun. It's a fairly powerful car to drive even in stock form. Unlike the 230s which had the horrible tires from the factory, this one actually has some pretty good tires. It's got, I think, the pole position 2 S001 with the Bridgestone tire, that if I'm not wrong, and it's a pretty grippy tire. In terms of grip, I have the only benchmark of a good street/track tire that's available in India for cheap is the Pilot Sport 4, and compared to the Pilot Sport 4, this Bridgestone, I think it's Bridgestone, I'm not very sure. The model is pole position S001. These tires are actually pretty grippy. If I compare this to the PS4s, yes, the grip level is about at least 10-15% more than the PS4, and you can feel that in your steering. The way this car, steers in front and gives you front end grip while steering is something which is a lot more than you would get on the PS4s. Other than that, where the PS4s actually win out over these tires is that these tires are noisy. Over uneven pavement, these tires are very noisy. If the road is very nice, the tire noise is not that bad and you can actually live with it. But over uneven pavement, over bad broken roads, the tires do get very noisy. Especially like if you see right now, this road doesn't have the top layer, so tire noise goes up significantly over these roads. I'm okay with it, I have no issues with it. But when you get over a smoother section of the road, the tire noise goes away. That's a bit of a nag on the tires, but yeah, these are sporty tires. They're not designed to be quiet, they're designed to give you grip, and these do a very good job. Even in wet, these are actually pretty good. They're not obviously as good as the PS4s in wet, but overall as a summer performance tire, I really like the option that Skoda gave. Now the big question mark is, can I get these tires, more of these tires from Skoda? I am not sure. I mean, I asked Zach on Twitter about it. He said that you should be able to get the same tires from Skoda, but then I spoke to my dealership and they said that the tires are not available, and because Skoda in India has done a partnership with Pirelli, they are recommending Pirelli P0s for this on the same size for this car, which is an absolute no-no. Those tires are horrible tires. I mean, that's just, I mean, I had them on my BMW. They are just absolute shit tires. So once the tires wear out, I am assuming they'll wear out a lot faster once I start tracking this car. We have to figure out a source. Either we'll kind of petition to Skoda to get us more of the same tires, or we'll have to find an outside source. As of now, these tires are not available in India in the aftermarket for purchase. So Bridgestone, I think, is the brand. So if you're listening, please get these tires. These are really good tires.